Hello again. If you've been watching recently, you'll know I've been reserving judgment on the new items they've recently introduced in last week's update. Tonight we're going to have a closer look at them, and I'll offer my opinions on if they are going to ruin the game or if they're not as bad as they initially looked, and whether or not they can be useful, indeed a good addition. So we'll look at each of them individually. Before I go any further, thanks everyone who's added me on Twitter. If you can, add me. I tweet prior to doing streams. It also makes you aware when I've put new uploads on. YouTube does that as well, I guess, but it's handy for me to be able to communicate outside of YouTube sometimes. So if you add me on Twitter, that'd be brilliant. So on with the game. What I'm going to do is just go into the career mode. Let's just play a really basic. I'll play Sawgrass 9-hole. Now I'm going to play with the new points drink. So I think what we're all worried about with the introduction of this drink is this going to be basically a replacement for the perfect zone drink. Everyone's going to be taking them every shot. I'm sure that's not going to be the case, having had a look at it. So let's have a look at how it works first, and we'll then discuss what the effect of it's going to be. So what I'm actually going to do first here is just play a standard perfect zone drink. My aim is to put this within 2.1 yards for a perfect approach. Whether or not I make that, let's find out. Ideally what I want to do is play basically the same shot with the perfect zone drink and then also with the new points drink. So there we'll have a perfect shot. So 4 points for the perfect shot and 4 points for the perfect approach. That's good. Now if we just leave, I'll just start up and do exactly the same thing again, but this time I'm going to select the points drink. What I'm now going to do then is to play exactly the same shot, this time using the points drink. So if we I'll just get it lined up first. Around there, points drink selected. I'll try and put it again within that 2.1 yards, which is hopefully not too much of an ask here at Sawgrass 9-hole. You can't even play this. You used to be able to play this in friends games and it was always good fun, but okay, so I've used my points drink, I have played my shot, the ball's rolled and within 0.5. So look at the points there. We've got +4 because I got a nice shot, I didn't hit the perfect zone, and then again +4 for the nice approach. So in actual fact I've got exactly the same points there that I would have done, or that I did do previously with the perfect drink. Where it's potentially beneficial, if I caught the perfect zone there, then that would have been doubled. So I would have had 8 points plus 4 points, which would have given me 12. But obviously unless you are some sort of genius with the stopping the power marker on the perfect zone, or if you've got the 300% perfect zone, which is, I think these guys will be rubbing their hands with this edition, because realistically they're never going to lose on points. I used to be one of them. I had a combination and I lost it. I overwrote it on an old bag. The bag's getting on a bit now anyway, to be honest, so yeah, maybe not such a loss. But yeah, if you do play the points drink, then the best you can do is the same points that you'd get with a perfect shot, unless you manage to hit that perfect zone. So it's a bit of a gamble, and you're not going to see people using this every hole. So conclusion for this one is not such a bad thing. So next up I'm moving to sands. Again, we're just in career mode. Walt's telling me I've made a great job. Thanks, Walt. What we're looking at here is, I think, the most, what's the word, controversial, or basically this tee shot guide. I mean, essentially what it is, it's a putting guide for your tee shot. You can only use it once, just the same as the putting guide, and basically what it'll do is it'll show you where the ball will go if you hit it where you've lined it up. So let's just line this up now. The new trajectory, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Let's just assume I am new to the game. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm lining it up, and I'm just pressing this button. Where's it going to go? So let's have a look. First thing you'll notice is my marker has been saved there. So basically if I hit it there, then it will end up there, which in actual fact is pretty good. It looks as though it's clipping the tree on the way down. Let's say I'd line that up a little bit wrong, so I'll just move it one dot to the right there, you know. So that's where I want it to pitch. So really all I've got to do, go down here, line it up there. So really exactly the same as the putting guide, but for your drive, and it only works off the tee, which is again got to be a good thing. So in actual fact I had this lined up pretty well first time, but you'll see that ball should be, I didn't quite catch it right anyway, so it's going to be pitching to the right of where it originally said and rolling on. So certain holes I can see this being a huge advantage. What's a good thing, I think, is, well, we don't yet know how much these are going to cost. They haven't been for sale in the shop just yet, so what I'm hoping is that we won't be seeing loads of these being used all of the time. I think anyone who liked to use them has probably used them all by now. There's none more at the moment to buy in the shop or in the packages, so I suspect we'll see them raise their heads soon enough. So I think we'll all be hoping, fingers crossed, that these are going to be hugely expensive, and they're not going to be something people are going to be using all the time. I would much prefer to see, if they did have to introduce it, that to be just a one-off per round, as is the case with the next one we're going to look at. So yeah, to my mind, of these three editions, this is the one which has got the potential to ruffle a few feathers, and certainly, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say ruin the game, but it's going to make it a lot easier for those who haven't put in the practice to certainly know where the ball's going to go in the first instance. There's no substitute for experience as to what will happen next after it pitches. You'll notice the guy didn't actually give you that little marker that you get with the shot trajectory marker that you can switch on in the career mode. Ball track guide, I think they call it. That actually gives you a big arrow that shows you which way it's going to kick when it lands, etc. So you know, it's definitely a huge advantage to be able to check where your ball's going to go before you hit it. But and you can use it in conjunction with perfect drinks as well. Again, if they hadn't let you do that, that might have been better. But yeah, so again, out of the three of them, that is the one that's I'm not liking the most, if you like, or disliking the most. What we're going to do now is move straight on to the next one. Now, my initial concern with this was that, and we're going to move on. It's basically the power, do they call it, power fix, available only once. What my initial thoughts for this was that you'd be able to use it with putts. So there's a couple of saving graces for this actually. The first is that you can't. You'll notice I'll click it and it says available only once. What it should say, I think, is you can't use this on putts, because it definitely doesn't work. I've tried it. So if I put this putt in, we'll move on to the next hole and we'll see exactly how it does work. And it appears that it works off the tee and around the green, etc., just not for putts, basically. So let's move on to the second. So this is a hole where it's going to be quite important to catch the power bang on if you can. I'm just going to play draw shot and take a punt on it. There. So what you'll notice is, so there's my, with a forward, there's my power marker, and I can now go here and choose this power fix. So I press that, notice that pin is pinned it on 91%, and I can then, in conjunction with that, as I can with the other additional item, I can use a perfect drink if I want. So really, no challenge, that's automatically stopping on the power I chose, and I'm then on the perfect zone, expanded zone. So obviously there's no substitute for actually being good at the game, so I missed that quite significantly off the green. But if I'd maybe used the tee shot guide as well, then I could have adjusted for that. But the saving grace of this one is that's now gone, and that's on a per round basis. That's not going to come back this round. So it's definitely not going to be something that people are just going to be kind of playing on autopilot, pressing a button, hits it exactly the power, tap the giant perfect zone and put it exactly where they want to every time, having used their tee shot guide. So to be honest, I'm not particularly worried about that one. It's an addition. It's something which might occasionally be useful once around. I'm not sure if that's going to be something that's just rechargeable. It just seems to appear one of them every round at the moment. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay to get more of them. I don't think that's going to be the case based on the message we were seeing available only once per round. So yeah, that's nothing really to worry about. The points drink, as we've seen, I don't think there's anything particularly to worry about. So the big one for me is that the tee shot guide. I don't like it. I'm just really hoping that they are prohibitively expensive, and you're not going to see a load of people with you know, playing 9 of those every 9 holes, and knowing exactly where the ball's going to end up before they hit it, because it does take away a lot of the enjoyment of the game, I think. Anyway, so that's it for me tonight. Again, I'll be on Twitter, Golfstar_Dan. I'll be back soon with another video, and if you watch out on Twitter, there'll be updates when my next live stream will be going on. Thanks very much.